It is customary to begin with a text and an observation that derive from Israel's rich cultural heritage and which may have special meaning for this occasion. We're here tonight to celebrate leaders and pioneers. Texts are readily available at this time of year through the weekly readings of the portions of the law in Bamidbar, the book of Numbers. They are replete with references, direct and implicit, about leadership. Bamidbar, of course, means in the desert. Our forefathers had several words for describing the desert, not as many as Eskimos may have had for describing snow, but enough to ponder the meanings of Bamidbar, as opposed to Yesimon, a desert so dry there is no pasturage, or similarly inhospitable venues as expressed in Tziyah, Shmama, Shimamun, Arava, all of which may be rendered desert in English, a relatively poor and impoverished language, at least in this regard. In a midbar, there is growth and life, pasturage for sheep and work for shepherds. Midbar is not the endless sands of the Sahara. It was in the midbar of Sinai, of the Tzin, of the Negev, and the fringes of the Judean midbar, where there unfolded the dreams or the drama of the leadership of Moshe, Aharon, Yehoshua, Kalev, and others. In one striking passage, employed to describe the moment of entry across the Jordan River, we come across a term that is so appropriate to this evening, to those we celebrate, and which resonates so authentically with the highest ideals of Israeli society. In Joshua chapter 6, verses 7 through 9, we read, Vayehi ke'amor Yoshua elam, Ivru v'sovu et ha'ir, v'hechalutz ya'avor lifnei Aron Hashem. Vayehi ke'amor Yoshua el ha'am, v'shiva ha'kohanim nosim shiva shofrot ha'yovlim lifnei Hashem. Avru v'tak'u b'shofrot, v'aron brit Hashem holech achareihem, v'hechalutz holech lifnei ha'kohanim tokei ha'shofrot. And let the chalutz pass on before the ark of the Lord. Spoken unto the people, the 7 priests bearing the 7 ram's horns, before the Lord passed on and blew the horns. And the ark of the covenant, and the Lord followed them. And the chalutz went before the priests that blew the horns. While the root of the word chalutz contains the meaning of armed soldier, it now primarily means one who goes before the people. The chalutz is part of the avant-garde. By definition, a chalutz may be an individualist, but one who does not act only for personal benefit. While the word virtually disappeared from use during the Middle Ages, about a century ago, Zionist writers rediscovered the term and employed it extensively to describe pioneers, chalutzim, and pioneering, chalutziut. While the biblical context was of fulfilling a divine mission, Zionism readily appropriated the term in emphasizing leadership on behalf of a people and a national movement. Israel's founders celebrated their own past in terms of chalutziut and applied the term in a host of areas. Thus, one might lead and pioneer on the frontiers of the arts, the academy, business, science, philanthropy, and public service. Indeed, in all the areas requiring leadership and shepherding that are so well represented on the presidium before you this evening. We are glad for the opportunity to honor these remarkable pioneers and leaders, and we also look forward to hearing from them. It is now my honor and pleasure to call upon the president of Ben-Gurion University, Professor Rivka Karmi, to address the assembly.
Chairman of the Executive Committee, David Brodett, Rector, Professor Jimmy Weinblatt, Vice President for Research and Development, Professor Moti Hershkovich, Deans, distinguished honorees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. It is a great privilege to me to open this annual but ever-exciting event of conferment of honorary doctoral degrees at Ben-Gurion University of the Negev. This ceremony has always been about celebrating wonderful achievements and accomplishments in various and many fields. Throughout the years, we have had the honor of hosting great leaders in each his or her own arena, including them in our BGU family of friends and honorees. This event has always been about celebrating and cherishing contribution, not only in the sense of charity, which is obviously a highly commendable action, but in terms of giving and sharing of oneself in order to create and build. It is about contributing talent, expertise, time, and resources in order to improve or make an impact that will matter to individuals, communities, nations, and the whole world. Regardless of the field we are acknowledging, be it human liberties, education, performing arts, the sciences, or business acumen, and moreover, giving of oneself to others, this age-old ceremony at revered institutions around the world has always been about going above and beyond. I would like to make a few special comments about our friends who we are honoring tonight. One such comment focuses on my deep concerns about the fate of education and research in Israel. In a small country short of natural resources, the Holy Land as opposed to the oily lands of this region, high-quality education and scientific research are the only key to a sustainable, prosperous future. This emphasis on excellence and innovation has brought Israel to internationally recognized achievements in the realms of technology, science, and culture. If we do not acknowledge this, if we do not carefully nurture these national treasures, we will lose our place in the global arena and possibly risk our very existence. In this context, here at BGU, we acknowledge individuals whose passion lie, among others, in the humanities and the sciences. The study of science and history is what gives us a purpose. As it says in the Talmud, the whole value of benevolent deed lies in the love that inspires it. The chairman of our board of governors, Roy Zuckerberg, has inspired us all with his invaluable contribution and deep personal involvement in the advanced water technology research taking place at our campus in Sde Boker. However, this is only a small part of his tremendous contribution in both time and wisdom to the university, providing us with years of immense professional and leadership experience. All of these are accompanied by a deep commitment and vast contribution to Jewish causes in general, in humble generosity, devotion, and love. Thank you, Roy, my dear friend and outstanding partner. Dear honorees, soon you will become honorary doctorates of our great institution. Your actions and accomplishments are models for all of us here today. We are proud to have you as members of our family, and I extend to you my heartfelt admiration, gratitude, and friendship. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Karmi. I call upon Roy J. Zuckerberg to rise and approach the podium. And I invite the President and the Rector to join the honoree. The justifications for granting the degree are found in the scroll, and the scroll reads: The Senate and the Executive Committee of Ben-Gurion University of the Negev hereby resolve to honor Roy J. Zuckerberg in recognition of a successful businessman for his exceptional accomplishments in the field of investments, who has devoted much of his time and expertise to the support and leadership of numerous organizations, including the American Red Cross and the North Shore Long Island Jewish Health System. In acknowledgement of an enthusiastic Zionist, a concerned and influential member of the United States Jewish community, who continues his father's tradition of loyal support for the State of Israel. In appreciation of a partner in the development of Ben-Gurion University of the Negev, Chairman of the Board of Governors, for his commitment to renewing the mission of the university through his strong belief in its bright future as a top-class scientific research institution. In honor of a loyal friend who supports the university's Honors MBA program and dedicates time to his students, thereby bequeathing knowledge to future generations, and with deep appreciation of a benevolent supporter of his unique contribution through the establishment and development of the Zuckerberg Institute for Water Research at the Jacob Blaustein Institutes for Desert Research at the Sde Boker campus, and for his active involvement as a member of the Institute's Scientific Consulting Committee and the belief that water is the key element in a true dialogue between citizens of the Middle East by conferring upon him the degree of Doctor Philosophiae Honoris Causa with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. The rector will confer the hood. And the president will grant the scroll. Dr. Zuckerberg, would you please address the assembly at this occasion?
President Carmi, Rector, distinguished Chairman of the Executive Committee, David Brodett, friends, fellow honorees, relatives, I'm very pleased to be here, and I thank you very much for bestowing this honor upon me. I'm in very good company. I listen to the achievements and accomplishment of the other people, the other honorees, and I wonder if I'm deserving of this similar or identical honor. I first heard the word Israel in the middle to late 40s when my father had a visitor by the name of Moshe Shatuk, which became Moshe Sharat, who came to our house and stayed at our house. That was my first that I heard of Israel and the struggle to become a country. I learned from my father in those days about commitment, beliefs, philanthropy, desire, and it was a terrific lesson as a young boy. Fast forwarding to 50 years later, at a dinner party in Tel Aviv, I met Avishai Braverman, who immediately lined me up to go to Beersheba to visit the university a day or two later, and exposed me to this wonderful university. I was struck by the diversity of the student body, the way people spoke, the classes, the professors I met, and mostly by my visit to Sde Boker. In Sde Boker, I felt a bit of the pioneering spirit. I felt the excitement of discovery, of science, and decided that this is where I would take an interest and try to help in some way. From that point on, Avishai spoke to me about taking a role at the university, to which I continually said no. But no is not a word that ever stopped Professor Braverman. And this went on for a few years, and about 7 years ago, I would estimate, he asked me to have dinner. We had dinner, and he asked if I would be interested to become chairman of the Board of Governors. I told him it was impossible, that I was very busy, and I did not have the time to commit to this type of undertaking. He stood up at the table. As you know, he's about 6'3", and he said, "This is not about how busy you are. This is about a country in need of leadership and an institution in need of leadership. So don't tell me how busy you are." Now, that answer convinced me that there was no way out. And it was a great answer, a great response, and after some conversation, I decided to get involved at Ben-Gurion University. It's been an exciting adventure. I became attached to Sde Boker and helped create a water institute. Fast forwarding to this past Thursday night, I had the pleasure of having dinner with the scientific advisory board that we created at the Water Institute, headed by Dr. Peter Fritz from Germany. And we had a wonderful dinner, and I learned that after a struggle of somewhat, that we now had over 100 people working at the Water Institute. And after listening to their opinions of the advisory board of the quality of work they were doing and the quantity of work, it really filled me with pride. I feel that this university has given me more than I've given it. But it's been a thrill, an honor, and I'm full of pride. I appreciate this honor tonight bestowed upon me, and I'm very grateful to the university for what they have done for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zuckerberg. I would like to thank, on behalf of all those assembled here, our honorees for coming here, and not for the honors that we have given you, but for the honors you have given us. It's been a wonderful meeting, a wonderful evening, and before we play the recessional and sing Hatikva, I would ask all of you to rise. I would ask you to stay in your places until the recessional is concluded. We will now sing Hatikva.